What's up, guys? In today's video we're going to be taking a look at one of those little handheld airbrush compressors that seem to be all the craze nowadays. This specific one is by the No Name brand by Spray Gunner. We're going to head and open it up, check it out. Alright guys, so you can see here, it comes in a really nice box, and Artem over at Spray Gunner assured me that they plan to sell this as a set, and that's why it kind of comes in this box. But inside the box you're going to find, of course, your handheld compressor, and I've already pre-charged this. You're going to find a charging cable, and you're also going to find a nice little hose that goes along with it. I don't know if it comes with instructions or anything like that. This is the one that Artem personally delivered to me, and he's kind of been showing it around, so it kind of just ended up here, and this is where he left it. So first off, it's not super duper light. It kind of has some weight to it, right? So Artem tells me that he recommends using the hose. So it comes with this hose, and it comes with an adapter, as you can see, to connect a standard 1/8 hose right up to it. So we're going to go ahead and hook it all up. We're going to take one of our airbrushes here, and we're going to go ahead and test it out. So the reason they recommend using a hose though, and not hooking this up straight to your airbrush, is because the hose kind of works as a little bit of a buffer between the compressor and your airbrush. So it doesn't make a whole ton of pressure, but if you're using it constantly, it'll make pulsating or anything like that just a little bit more noticeable if you're using it directly hooked up here. So I would recommend using a hose. Not only that, but if you use the hose, then if you're standing or something, then you can just put the hose to the side and you don't have to worry about it too much. And all you gotta do to turn it on is just click it and it'll come on. And if we cap this here, see, it automatically turns off when it hits a pressure point. And if I let go of the air, it automatically turns on. So again, let me just hook up an airbrush to it and we'll go ahead and test it out, and I'll give you guys a couple of really good use case scenarios that I could already think of with this little airbrush compressor that'll open up some possibilities for some artists out there. So let's go ahead and hook it up, see what it does. So here we have our little handheld compressor hooked up to the GSI Krios PS289, and it's, you know, this connector here is going to fit most standard airbrushes, Iwata, Sparmax, you know, anything like that. It's really going to fit. If you have a Badger or a Pache, you're going to probably have to find an adapter, but it fits most standard airbrushes. This is the standard connection for most airbrushes right here. So yeah, most of you won't even have to worry. So all I'm going to do is turn it on. Instantly turns off. I guess it already has enough pressure. I'm just going to set this here so we could hear it turn on and off. And probably up against the wood is a little bit louder, but if I just hold it here, bam. Let's say if I just put it in my pocket, right, like right now, and you could easily, yep. So let's put some paint in here, and I'm just going to take some wicked black, pour some in there. And I'm not going to reduce it right away. I'm just going to see what it does with paint right out of the bottle. Make sure we got our max airflow here on our little inbuilt regulator there. Cool, so we got paint flowing. Now obviously Createx Wicked right out of the bottle is a little bit heavier. And you can see it's possible to make some designs with it, nothing crazy. But that's kind of not what I think it's designed for, right? It's not obviously not meant to spray shirts or anything like that where you're going to be spraying paint straight out of the bottle. But let's say we reduce this. I'm just going to do a quick about 1-to-1 mixture of reducer to paint. I'm going to shake this up real quick. Now where I think this product would be really good, and where I think it has potential, well, hopefully it has potential towards the future, and hopefully they keep innovating on it and make maybe better little compressors that make more pressure faster. But as it stands, I feel there's certain industries that would probably benefit off of this, just as it is. And obviously if you're painting like miniatures, this is probably a good little compressor for you. I'm not going to say it's the best or anything, but you know, you're going to be spraying really thin paint and you just want a nice little spray, and it's possible to do that. Let's make a nice line here, and you can see with the hose hooked up, there's really no pulsing visible in the line or anything like that, right? So if you're spraying like miniatures, maybe you do like food coloring on cakes, face painting and or body painting, like you know, like where you do those little tattoos, the little body paint tattoos at fairs or stuff like that. I think this is going to be a game changer for you. So if you do that a lot, you know, obviously you would probably run a compressor and stuff, but imagine all you have to do is have a couple of these charging, you know, and you could alternate between them, and then you're just, you know, a lot of times I've seen the body paint guys, they just squirt in a little bit of ink. They don't even have a big bottles or nothing like that. They just squirt in a little bit of ink, the color they're going to use, put their stencil down, spray some color, right, and then they rinse it out, and then they spray the next color, you know, and so on and so forth. And those inks are usually really kind of thin, so that those, I can see those people using it right away. Then there's people like me, right? Like, so you see me do these really fine lines, and a lot of time when I'm working, I use really reduced paint and I use really low pressure. So it's really easy at this pressure to work really detailed. And if you can see, I didn't even do no specific reduction on the paint or anything like that. I just kind of was like, you know, just threw some reducer in there with the Wicked paint. Obviously it's not going to spray, you know, thick, heavy paint, you know, like Wicked straight out of the bottle. Needs a little bit more pressure, you know, you need about 35, maybe 40 psi for it to spray good. But once you throw a little bit of reducer in there, or maybe you're spraying like little model paint, you know, that enamel paint that's really thin, because it's, you know, it's based on lacquer and stuff like that. One of these little compressors, and I could see just having it in my pocket and kind of forgetting while I'm painting. So Artem tells me that they expect you to be able to get about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes off of one full charge of spraying. Right, so if you know, maybe you just want to spray some hobbies in your home, you know, you just want to work on some artwork at home. One of these little compressors is actually pretty interesting. So the other use case, like for me as well, is now I could go out and do airbrushing. Like, obviously I go to events and I do parties for people, and you see me at the markets and such, but like maybe on a Sunday afternoon I just want to go out to the park and just do some artwork. You know, maybe I'm just gonna paint a scene, you know, that I see there, or maybe I want to do caricatures of people on the sidewalk or something like that, and there isn't electricity. So I could just have a couple of these, charge them up, go out there and have a good old time spraying You know, as long as I'm spraying some nice thin paint, you know, maybe I'm doing caricatures with a marker and then using the airbrush to, you know, just to shade in and add colors. It's more than usable, I would say. Also, if you're just a beginner, you know, if you're just gonna learn and you want to just learn how to do dagger strokes and stuff like that, this is probably a decent start. Obviously, it's not the best, and you're gonna be kind of limited because it only, like, that's the max pressure, right? There is no regulator to give it more or anything like that. But if, say, you already have kind of a gig going on doing face paint or doing, you know, one of the things I listed, getting one of these could open some possibilities of where you're able to offer your services. As well as if you're just doing really detailed art or something like that, just you want to be able to do it quietly. Maybe you're in an area where, you know, you're not allowed to make noise, you know, and you're just, again, you just want to focus on some artwork. I would definitely say this is one of those, man, where I dig it. And so that's coming from me. Again, I kind of talked smacked about this product before I had it in my hands, and I kind of criticized it. And honestly, for a lot of those cheap Chinese knockoffs I see and stuff like that, I would probably still be pretty skeptical. Obviously, Artem, the whole no-name brand, is because they're just importing products that are available in other countries and bringing those products here. So this is available somewhere else, probably under a different name, whatever. But he's bringing them to the US, and I'm pretty sure he went and cherry-picked the best product available. So he's probably going to stand behind it. You know, the Spray Gunner brand is going to stand behind it, and if you have any kind of issues or problems, they'll be there to help you out. Where if you order from, you know, from China or somewhere, you're really left in the cold. If you get one that's broken or something, you know, you just never know. Not only that, it comes in a nice package, so you'll be able to, like, if you're done, you can just put it away. Even this little box, right? So if I just wanted to cut out that piece there, I could have a nice place to put my thing, my airbrush in here. You know, this looks like it almost fit an Iwata box perfectly, like the foam insert right there. So this could be a nice little travel case if you're just a little bit creative with it. So yeah, so I talk smacked about them, and again, I stand by those Chinese brands. I wouldn't do it. But the fact that Spray Gunner is standing behind this one, you know, and selling it and being able to offer it, and I can see use case scenarios for it. So like I said, miniatures, cakes, you know, where you're spraying food coloring, or if you're doing body paint, stuff like that, where you're just working at low pressure anyway. You don't need a whole bunch of pressure, and you're just spraying thin colors. This is probably going to work just great for you. And if you have 2 or 3 of them, you could swap them out. Again, 30 to 40 minutes runtime. So yeah. Anyway, guys, if you're interested in one of these, there'll be a link down below, so you can go ahead and order yourself one. They're $50, and I think for $50, the fact that you can recharge it and just take it anywhere and stuff, and it opens up possibilities of where you can airbrush. You can just, you know, go to the park, do whatever you want to do, and you know, not have to worry about having a big loud noisy compressor or needing electricity or anything like that. So again, if you want one of these, the link will be down below, so go ahead and check it out, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.